10,111 call centres are in a crisis because of staff shortages. The Independent Policing Union of South Africa says it welcomes the call by Parliament to come up with a plan for more staff at the call centres. It says that this was caused by an ill-advised agreement signed in 2019 by the SAPS and so-called recognised unions. For more on this, we're joined by the President, Bethuel Nkuna Nephtal, who joins us now via Zoom. Thank you very much for your time this afternoon. And maybe if you could just start by the particulars of this agreement that you say was signed and it wasn't supposed to be signed, just given the particulars that are contained with it.
Good evening and good evening to your viewers. Our position as Independent Policing Union of South Africa, the reason why we are saying, yes, there is a shortage in the 10,111 nationally, but the agreement that was signed, Agreement 1 of 2019, has also put contributed more into the depletion of staff shortages in terms of, you may remember that in 2017, all 10,111 call centers went on a strike demanding better salaries. But then, instead of SAPS resolving the issue, they chose to infringe on members' rights to strike by saying they are translating all 10,111 members into Police Act. So by virtue of that translation, members who had tattoos, members who were said to be having previous criminal cases, and members who were not interested in being translated, they had to leave the environment. So that has depleted more the staff in terms of the shortages. So that showed that from the management side, there was no care in terms of, instead of increasing the numbers of the 10,111s, they added more in terms of depleting the numbers by virtue of that agreement. That excluded people with tattoos, that excluded members who had previous criminal charges, and also those who were not being not interested in being translated.
Yeah, and that is a very big problem. I mean, the one argument is to say that if you don't fill a certain criteria, then you can't be part of a particular sector. But it has, as you've just explained, led to the shortage in personnel within the call centres. Ideally, should an alternative agreement be established between all the parties involved, what exactly is it that you would like to see contained within that agreement? And proposing one that would create the necessary jobs within the call centres of the 10,111.
We would have loved SAPS to have followed their own OD report in terms of what members were demanding, because there was a benchmark team that benchmarked against other government call centres in terms of what they are earning, and also an OD team was sent throughout nationally in order to do job evaluation. So we would have loved SAPS to have followed the report, because the recommendation of those report vindicated the members' demands that the salary of the 10,111 members should be elevated to be on par with other government call centers. But instead of following that route, they neglected their own OD report and chose to translate members, so that their only vision was to prevent members of 10,111 from striking. Therefore, by signing this Agreement 1 of 2019, which also depleted us in terms of manpower.
Yeah. So is it just an issue around salaries and the shortage of the 10,111, or are there some skills issues as well? We've reported on this issue quite extensively, and there has been concerns around the skill set of the call centre agents that take the emergency calls that would be made by various residents in different communities. And maybe if you could just furnish us with some information around the skill set of your members who operate within these call centres, and whether you're confident that they do have the requisite skills to deal with matters of urgency when those calls are made to the centres.
We are very confident. There's no member within 10,111 that enters the environment without being trained. There's a comprehensive training that is offered before a member can be accepted into the environment. So any other complaints that may have to do where maybe the skills of the members are being questioned, it can only be because members are overwhelmed, members are overworked, members are burnt out. because of the number of the volume of calls that are coming in. I can take just Gauteng, for example, and also Western Cape and KZN, because they are the biggest ones. You will find that in Gauteng, with over 11 million residents, but only about 9 or 12 call takers are taking calls, with an average of about 5,000 calls per day. When we talk Cape Town, we talk about 4 call takers taking an average of about 2,000 calls. There have been about 5 call takers taking an average of about 1,700 calls in a day. So it's not a matter of skills. It's a matter of members being burnt out.
So the time frame in which you are trying to get this resolved, are you currently having conversations with all the stakeholders involved, and are you foreseeing some kind of time frame in making sure that this is resolved as a matter of urgency? I mean, the numbers that you've just mentioned in terms of the cohort of call center agents in proportion to the calls that are being made is actually quite scary. So tell us about discussions that you are having at the moment, if any, and time frame that you are hoping to lay out on the table for some kind of permanent resolution.
Yeah, we hope this has to be resolved as a matter of agency, because we even had to undergo grievances where the matter was even taken to the Public Service Commission, of which they came back to us to say, no, in Parliament they've been told that, okay, there is 10,000 new intake that will be coming, and they are hoping that we'll be getting some members out of that. But unfortunately, the new intakes have been deployed, but none of those members are being deployed into the 10,111s. So the discussions that we'll be having is to go back again to the PSC to resurrect that grievance, to say, no, at the moment, we've received nothing out of the response that were given to you.
So then what is the next course of action for you as an independent policing union? Given the fact that you've just said that you've received no response, you're not happy by the matter or the manner in which things are moving, what do we expect from you then in terms of a course of action?
The first course of action that we have done for now, we have taken that Agreement 1 of 2019, referred it to the SSBC for interpretation, so that some of those members that we have lost, they can come back. And we're also hoping to engage. We've written several letters to want to engage with the Minister of Police, of which we're hoping for a response, so that we engage further on this matter, as it's a matter of urgency.